Hi traders, it's Alberto. Today is Friday 16th of December, and this video I'm going to go over trend trading, taking trades in the direction of the trend using higher time frames as your point of reference and executing on a 1 hour chart. Indicators I'm using is the super trend indicator and pivot points. The super trend indicator is found on Exnia platform, and I'll go into that at a later date, the trading platform that I'm currently using. So let me get started. So the first thing I do was looking at Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar on a daily chart using the super trend indicator and price action. The market obviously was in a strong downtrend, and it started here at this level of support turn resistance. So this is when that occurred back on November 11th, I believe, and November 12th. Market's in a strong downtrend and then retraced, and price, as long as the super trend indicator, the red indicator, is showing bearish sentiment, then we always look for selling opportunities on smaller time frames. So that's the first thing I look for. The daily chart's telling me that the market's in a downtrend. Then I go to the 4-hour chart, and if the 4-hour chart at the time the daily chart is showing a downtrend, the 4-hour chart was showing an uptrend, so all I needed to do is wait till the 4-hour chart was in line with the daily chart, and there it was back in right around here, which is, that was the 14th. So on the 14th of December, the market went in the direction of the daily chart on the Aussie dollar, and that was my signal to sell. So all I do is go to the 1-hour chart, and there it was. There was the trade back here on the 14th, right there. And notice that price is below the central pivot point, and that's what I'm looking for. I need price not only for to print below the central pivot point, but also the super trend indicator giving me a sell signal. And then there was the trade, and then I start looking for exits around the S2, S3 level. If the market has not done its daily range by the time it hits S2, then I most likely would stay in that trade longer, and notice it even broke S3. Okay. Now here's the following day. We're in a downtrend. The super indicator is showing red, which is we're still in a bearish sentiment on the 4-hour, on the daily chart, and the 1-hour chart, and price is below the central pivot point. So coming into a new trading day, we would enter a sell order, and again, market sold off, and then put in basically its daily range, and about 88 pips, which is about the daily range for the Aussie dollar. So there's several things you need to make sure that you're aware of. Number one, coming into a new trading day, price is below the central pivot point. The super trend indicator is giving us a sell signal, and counting the number of pips before you enter a trade. So if you took the trade up here, obviously the market only put in 12 pips, so you still have approximately about 60 or 70 pips to go. So you would stay in that trade and start looking for exits around that S1, S2 area. Okay. And then today wasn't any different. The market was in a downtrend for the past 3 days. So again, price below the central pivot point. We still have red super trend indicator telling us that we're in a selling mode, and it's lining up with the 4-hour and daily chart. So the 4-hour chart, the daily chart, we have red super trend indicator. Price is below the central pivot point on all 3 time frames. We take a trade, and then we start looking for exits around that S1, S2 area. And notice we have an inside bar at S2 at the moment. So that's the analysis on Aussie dollar. So let me just show you a few more trades that worked out quite well. This chart, the Euro New Zealand dollar, the market is in a strong downtrend for quite some time. Then things completely changed direction on the yesterday. So on the 4-hour chart, we have super trend indicator completely reversed. So I look at the 1 hour chart and the same thing. So the 1 hour chart and the 4 hour chart on Euro New Zealand dollar are in a strong uptrend. The daily chart, however, is still in a downtrend. It looks like a nice recovery from this support level. So as long as I have a 1 hour and a 4 hour chart going in the same direction, that would be a great scalping opportunity. So here was the entry, and all I need to do is add my pivot calculator, or pivot indicator rather, and all I need to do is wait till price stays above the central pivot point, which is over here. Super trend indicator is giving us a buy signal. If I switch over to the 4 hour chart, then I see the same thing. Price is above the central pivot point on the 1 hour and 4 hour chart. And then for exits, I start looking for exits at these S2 or R2, R3, and it's surpassed R3 and is continuing to go north. So we have entries above the central pivot point, exits around the R1, R2, R3 levels. All you need to do is wait for a candlestick pattern at a pivot point that most likely will tell you that the market will turn around, and there was no candlestick pattern yet telling us that this is going to go for turn around and retrace. And make sure you have a 1 hour and 4 hour chart. They're in line together. Now, if you have a 4 hour chart going in the opposite direction as the 1 hour chart and the daily chart is not clear, then that is a very difficult trade setup. You just want to have at least 2 time frames, a 1 hour and 4 hour chart for scalping. So if the 1 hour and 4 hour chart are all lined up like it is here in Euro New Zealand dollar, price is above the central pivot point, super trend indicator is telling us to buy in the 1 hour and 4 hour chart, even MACD indicator angle and separated above the zero line, and that trade should, at least for that particular day, give us a nice rally for the day. So that's it for this tutorial. So to recap, just make sure use a super trend indicator, pivot points. These are your 2 indicators that will guide you, will help you confirm directional bias. If all 3 time frames are lined up, then that usually indicates a 2 or 3 day rally or sell-off. As you see here on Australian dollar, the market started here, and for 1, 2, 3 days it's been in a downtrend simply because the Aussie dollar on a daily 4 hour and 1 hour chart are lined up. They're all, the super trend indicator is showing red on all 3 time frames, and price each day broke below the central pivot point. So, and then we start looking for exits at these S1, S2 levels. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good weekend. Talk to you guys next.